Last module. This module is about style. Why is that important? Because we're all individuals. We're all born with our own gifts, talents, and intelligence. And my style is not your style, and your style is not my style. So it's important to understand yourself and what makes you tick and how you communicate. When you do that, it'll increase your value because people will be getting your personality, which only you can do. You can't be duplicated. People can copy it, but you're going to always be the original. So even though I've coached you, you shouldn't feel the need to be like me or to speak like me. The idea is that you find your own way. Sometimes when I hear you with my daughter, I hear a very cheery, energetic, funny person. Now, I don't know if the girls at school get that side of you, but it sure would be nice if you found a way to bring in your style to the talk. And so what's beautiful is that you have the talk written. You're going to continue to work on it. And with these modules, it's going to help you go back and doctor it to make it even more perfect. But the thing that's really going to make it shine is when you discover putting in your own style, your own way of communicating, your own sense of humor, your own sense of passion. Once again, this is important because it'll help you show up authentically. It'll bring a secret sauce to your talk that no one will really be able to duplicate. And it also will elevate your talk to a place of not just words, but life. So style is important. The other thing that I want to talk to you about in getting into your style, we got to bring it all together now with ethos, ethics, your experience, expertise, resonance, and your belief in yourself, the story you tell yourself about yourself, pathos, passion, storytelling, getting to the emotion, logos, logic, building the idea, and telos, what is the point, building a relationship with the audience. We want to bring it all together, the stagecraft, memorization into your authentic style, and not just when you're speaking in front of an audience, but also when you're communicating one-on-one. So I want to shift now as we get to you and one-on-one. I want you to know at an early age, everyone communicates differently. Well, I shouldn't say everyone communicates differently, but some people have a different way of communicating than others. Sometimes we can take offense because of how one communicates, because we don't understand it, when in fact they're not trying to be offensive at all. Sometimes you can offend someone because they don't understand how you're communicating. And so it's important, one, to become comfortable with the way you communicate, but also be open to improving your communication when you're building relationship with others. The other thing is that you can also be open and understanding of how someone else communicates, because at the end of the day, they're just being themselves. Why is this important? Because a lot of times when we get offended, or we get angry, or we get frustrated because of miscommunication, we take it out. We can take it out on someone else, but we also take it out on ourselves because we feel we're not being heard, we feel we're not being clear, or we feel the other person is not being clear, and we really can't hear them. And a lot of this builds anxiety, and it comes from just not realizing that we all communicate differently. I said it again, we all don't communicate differently, but some of us communicate differently than others. And so early on, you learned box breathing. Remember that? Taking a deep breath in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. If you do that on a daily basis, if you remember, I mentioned meditation and prayer. If you do that on a daily basis, what I've found it does for me, and it may do for you, is when you find yourself in those moments where you get anxiety, or you find yourself in those moments when you get frustrated, you have the moment to take a breath, to breathe, to get into your deeper self, because in that moment is when you're going to be the most open. That moment is when you'll discover clarity, either a way to be clear or a way to listen deeper to the person that's trying to communicate to you. And when you do that, you'll notice your relationship to friends, family will get better, will get stronger, even with strangers. And let me tell you, this is important. With friends and family, definitely. Why? Because they're friends and family, right? But with strangers, it's important because when you are clear in your communication and you're clear in hearing what someone else is communicating, it can tell you early on the deeper messages of what's happening. Sometimes this can be defensive, which could be good, let you know somebody is not cool. But the other time, it may be an opportunity, a door opening up for you that you weren't aware of. All because you were willing to give the time and communicate to a stranger. And the most powerful word in communication is one word, and that word is listen. When you listen to someone, all kinds of things open up because everyone wants to be heard. And when you can hear someone, you're really building a relationship or a friend. I'll end with this. Many years ago, I was sitting in a Starbucks, didn't want to be bothered. I'm an introvert. I'm eating my muffin, drinking coffee. In walks a man that looks at me like he wants to sit by me, and I didn't want to be sat by because I'm trying to enjoy my coffee and muffin. Anyway, he comes right to me and he asks to sit down, and in my mind I was thinking, oh, I can't believe this guy is coming to ask me, but I'm trying to just eat my muffin and drink my coffee. But I said, yeah, it's okay, you can have a seat. So he did. And we began to talk. And I listened. He had a lot of ideas about life. But then he asked me the magic question. So what is it you do? Now, the reason why that's important is because now it's opening up a door for me to share who I am as an actor, what I do with my acting, where I act. And he said, how would you like, and by the way, the person I was sitting next to, you might as well say was the mayor of Memphis, because he was more powerful and influential than the mayor at that time. And this man's name is Larry Jensen of Commercial Advisors, Cushman and Wakefield. He said, how would you like to help my brokers with their presentations? I had never done it before, but I said, sure. And I did. And it was the door, this is 20 plus years ago, that opened up a door for me to be coaching speakers and presenters and entrepreneurs and studio executives, and the list goes on for so many years because of that one moment with a person who's a stranger that now I've known 20 plus years and is a friend. So, all that to say, get in touch with your style, but understand that people communicate differently than you. And if you let it be a negative, it could be a negative, but you can also let it be a plus for you. And that when conflicting things happen in your presentation, whether you're in a group or a one-on-one or with a small group of friends, remember breathing. And you don't want to just do it in the moment. You want to do it daily, and you want to meditate daily, and you want to pray daily. This wraps us up. Remember the mountain work Remember, the tip of the iceberg is what the people will see and experience, the impact you'll have on them. But the mountain work is the work you'll do through these several modules. And to keep practicing, practice doesn't make perfect, but perfect practice does.